This bill is a bill that makes a breed neutral um, enforcement so that people are not just kicking dogs out of a community or out of a county because of a breed specific. We know as animal lovers, and you can see my dog back there on the chair looking out the window, um, animals are raised in a certain way and they act in a certain way because of the way they're raised. So ultimately, what we're doing is trying to make sure that people don't lose their family pet and or their home because they have a certain kind of an animal, just because of that. I mean, there's no reason to lose your home or have to lose your pet because of a specific breed. Yes, there are still quite a few. I don't know if there's quite that many, but I do know that they're changing on a regular basis. Well, I have not read all of the other bills, I have to admit that. But we've thought this was a timely bill to get out there because it has become one of those issues that is kind of costly to enforce and it's wasting tax dollars. I know that there are some bans out there where communities don't enforce it because until there's an actual behavioral concern, they don't see the need to enforce it, which is why there's really no need for these bans. Again, people shouldn't have to choose between their beloved pet and their home. There's a young woman who lived in Manchester who did have a pit bull, and I don't know if it was a mix or not, but it did have pit bull. And she was told by Manchester years ago that she could not live there with this dog, or she could put her dog down at her own cost. And she was not willing to do that. This is her family pet. She loves her dog. Her dog is now 5, almost 6 years old, and she moved out of Manchester. So this is one of those things that people in the communities need to understand that you're going to lose community members over because these animals are not vicious. They are good, great family pets. I have another instance where there's a young family here in town where their young son was attacked by a dog, their neighbor's dog, just this past fall, and he was attacked pretty brutally. They themselves have a pit bull, and they know that it has nothing to do with the breed, that it has everything to do with the way that dog was trained and the people's inability to control their own animal. So this, again, is not a breed issue. It's about behaviors. Well, we hope to get a subcommittee for it because without a subcommittee, we can't even get it to a committee. So that is the main goal right now is to get a subcommittee, get it to committee, and then we'd like to see it go to the floor. In theory, we would. This is supposed to cut down on dog bites, but the thing is that what it's really doing is restricting people's freedoms, specifically the Fifth and the 14th Amendment for due process and personal property. And it isn't cutting down on dog bites, and dog bites are not increasing. They aren't, it's not a big, huge deal that maybe some people think that it is. And again, it's about the behavior of the dog, not the specific breed of a dog. Well, if you are living in a town that has a breed specific ban, then and people who live there are not aware of that, or maybe they have a mixed dog from the pound that might grow up because when they're puppies, they're just cute puppies, right? It might grow up and maybe it has some traits that look like a breed specific, but without a DNA test, you really don't know what is in that dog. And so you have law enforcement going to homes and telling people because a neighbor has called or somebody has made a comment about a certain breed looking like dog in the neighborhood. They have to go out there and enforce those rules. But here's the thing. They don't have DNA tests. They don't know what that breed of that dog is. Just because it might have a couple of characteristics of a dog that they think would be a violent dog, you just don't know without that DNA test. And we know it's not, sorry, and we know it's not about dog specific anyway. It's about behavior and training. Well, again, despite how well intentioned the law enforcement is, by going out and trying to do their job to enforce these breed bans, again, they aren't able to determine a dog's breed just simply by looking at it. Lots of dogs have lots of different characteristics, and We just need to make sure that when we're talking about pets, and these are family pets and they are loved family pets, it doesn't matter what breed your pet is. It can be a mutt, it can be a golden retriever. Um, all dogs can turn on somebody if they are treated inappropriately or if they have been raised or not trained properly. It doesn't matter what the breed is. So I want people to know that that could happen to any animal. We don't know who has done what to that dog to make them act out. And so it's not a breed specific thing. Again, it is a behavioral thing, it is a training thing, it is an owner thing or a family thing.